Autobots, transform!
What is up, my Transformers family? Welcome back to George Reviews. Today on George Reviews, we'll be taking a look at the Insecticons reissued by Hasbro. These are the movie and cartoon color inspired versions of Generation 1 reissue Insecticons. We have all three. I never thought I was going to get these guys, and when these dropped, they were like 30 bucks a piece, a little bit over 30. And I was like, nah, I'm not getting these. So I kind of was out. And then I never saw them in the store. I'm more of an impulse buyer. And if I see it in stores, I may have grabbed these, but online, I'd be like, I really don't need it. So I never bought these guys. But during the Christmas holidays 2024, Walmart had the newest release. And this guy even comes with a cassette, which was weird. And they had them for like $7. Somebody put it on social media on one of the Transformers pages. And I was thinking to myself, by the time I get on there, it's going to be gone. And I got on there, and they had a few. And I actually bought a few. So here's one of them we're going to review. So that got me started. Then this guy right here, Shrapnel, in the older style box. You can see it's windowless packaging. I think he was the first one released. I'm really not sure, but I think he was. But Shrapnel had went down to $16. So I grabbed him. And I was watching Kickback on Walmart.com because this was a shared Hasbro, mostly a Walmart exclusive for all these Insecticons. And Walmart was never giving this guy a price break. In fact, he was going up to like $34, $36. And one day he was like 30. I was like, what the hell? So about a week ago, I was at Ollie's and I saw this guy. I was looking for Perceptor. And they had this guy along with Perceptor for $9. And I was like, that's all three. So here they are, and here we go. If you know the channel, we unbox and we do the whole package presentation thing. It's Christmas every day on the 80s Transformers fans channel. So here we go. We're going to start with Shrapnel because I believe he was the first one released. One of these two. So anyway, here's Shrapnel box. The background is Autobot City, obviously from Transformers the Movie. We got Unicron up here. The front of the box has some nice artwork for Shrapnel in both modes. Looks great. Nothing at the bottom of the box. Side of the box, plastic-free packaging. This side of the box, we get a product shot. He looks to have the chrome antennae or pincers, whatever that is right there, and a purple gun. I don't think that's accurate inside the box. I think this is some reused imagery. The back of the box, yeah, I mean, this is so chromed out. It is not going to be like this inside of the box, and I don't think the gun is going to be purple. Hopefully we get the Energon Cube. Over here, we got a little bit of a backstory from Transformers the Movie. In case you didn't know, the universe is threatened by the greatest villain Cybertron has ever known. The heroic Autobots must find a way to destroy this menace if they hope to save their home world till all are one. And then this is in multiple languages. Down here we got a tech spec and a bio for Shrapnel, and this is the time to pause and read that. Moving on. Same thing, same story. Front of the box, top of the box, inside of the box, inside of the box, yada yada yada. And then this is the time to pause this and read this. Now for Bombshell. I grabbed them in December, right around Christmas. And it returned to the window style packaging because the fans just wanted it. And it's so necessary for these guys to go in and steal the toy, replace the toy. I'm so glad they brought this back. Matter of fact, I saw this guy in the store one time, just one time ever. And somebody had ripped it open to steal Rhamhorn. I think I got a video of it.
I'm at Walmart, and it's the first time I ever seen one of the cartoon accurate Insecticons in the store, and somebody really wanted that cassette tape.
Anyway, and you can see he is not chromed out. He's in his cartoon colors, and he comes with Rhamhorn. He has the vintage Generation 1 style artwork on the front of his packaging, and then the package is designed to be like the Generation 1 style package. Even the back has the battle scene from the 1985 wave, which is very nice. Much more pleasant box. I may even keep this box. But continuing on with the theme, it's even split down with the Autobot side on this side. Very nice. And I believe it comes with a stack of Energon cubes. I think that's them back there in that corner. And we're going to bring closer, and you can pause and read his bio if you so choose. And for Rhamhorn, because it's dual bios, which this is very nice. I really actually like this box. I'm going to try to hold on to it. But we're going to get these guys open and take a look. we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Energon cubes in one silver laser rifle thing. Ha, his gun is purple, but was it purple on the cartoon? We're going to have to dive into that in this review. And he gets 6 Energon cubes as well. Now for Bombshell and Ramhorn. I don't know if the other guys didn't sell well and they sweetened it up and threw in Rhamhorn, but he was the same price as the other Insecticons. And why they just didn't put Rhamhorn in with Blaster, I will never know, but I got it anyway. Here it is. And here we go. Like I always say, we'll take a little bit more care in this package. I think I'm going to keep this box. Then we have plastic tie-downs, but they brought back all the plastic for this one. We get the same slightly different instruction booklet. They changed the color. I wonder if it was cheaper to do it. The bonus Rhamhorn. This is worth it alone. I will never prefer matte painted weapons over the chrome. They even spruced it up with the Autobot symbol on the tissue paper over the Energon cubes, which is kind of like wrong. Autobots use Energon rods. Wasn't that their thing? And we get 6 neatly packaged. They're stuck together Energon cubes. How cool is that? We're going to start with Shrapnel, the leader of the Insecticons. Insecticons! Man, they did so many cool things on the Generation 1 cartoon. Like having this guy repeat the last word of every sentence was so insect-like. I mean, in my child mind, I thought to myself, if an insect could speak, it would sound just like Shrapnel and the rest of the Insecticons. A huge turnoff, but more accurate. The chrome is gone. We get the matte silver right here. Gone from this little door area from the Diaclone days is the translucent plastic. It is a solid yellow. Actually looks good. Nicely printed on. Decepticon logo right there. The black is now a charcoal black. And the purple is much brighter. Underneath we have pearlescent white front legs. I guess these are 2 legs and this is the 3rd leg back here for the purple. And it doubles as landing gear, which was pretty clever. Because these were like vehicles in the Diaclone line. So they're not necessarily just insect transformations. So I'm going to get right to the comparison to the Generation 1 and break it out side by side. Got the translucent door over here and a ton of stickers. They didn't even try to mimic the stickers over here with any type of paint. I guess it wasn't drawn in on the cartoon. This guy has most of his stickers and the chrome, even though this chrome is nice and worn. We get the yellow landing gear / feet and the darker purple underneath. There's not much to see underneath. Alright, let's take a look at Kickback. We're expecting the same themes and the same things out of this guy. Again, gone is the chrome, but the appropriate silver is here. The yellow, I thought I wasn't going to like this yellow, but I actually do. This guy has a tiny Decepticon logo right here. I don't know if this is, I guess this is for the robot mode, and this is the logo for the insect mode on his head. Kind of close together, but that is nice that they gave us both. And underneath, we have a brand new paint app to bring out the chest in robot mode, I'm assuming. But it looks pretty good. Let's get this comparison over with now in insect mode. These are the similarities and the difference. The purple has been changed. But yeah, nice cartoon update. And Bombshell. Now Bombshell gets the gray paint instead of the purple. And this is my Mandela effect for the Transformers. When they first did this, I was like, why is he gray? I think I asked it in a social media group and somebody said he was always gray on a cartoon. And I'm like, bull crap. He might have been gray in a couple errors on the cartoon, but he was not always gray. So I checked out the cartoon and he's gray throughout the cartoon. And I swear I do not remember that as a kid. I mean, that is my Transformers Mandela effect. I do not remember this guy always being great, but they included in the toy. And on this release, unlike the other guys, we get a few extra special paint apps right here in silver by the Decepticon logo. And when you swing them around underneath, these circuit panels under here are painted silver as well. And this is like the underbelly and on his back. So I need to see if this is in the cartoon. but mostly black and gray going on. We get the silver finish right here. And here is this guy's comparison. Again, another beetle. I think he's a rhinoceros beetle. And there is the purple. So in insect mode, you could use this guy. In robot mode, you can use this guy in your collection. Yeah, they painted this entire portion underneath yellow. And I don't think they had to. I can't remember if it was like that on the cartoon. We'll throw some video in and take a look. And over here, it's just all black. Transformation time. First up, Shrapnel. Slot out the legs. Rotate the waist. Bring the feet up. Close up these legs on his back. Landing gear, whatever. And open up the antenna to reveal the face. And voila, we have a gorgeous cartoon accurate face. Silver paint, very well painted visor. I mean, that looks fantastic right there. I'm going to get out his weapon. Now, his weapon is purple. And I don't think this is cartoon accurate. I think they just did this to be doing it. And I can't see where else they use. Oh, they use purple paint on the landing gear. Right there. Okay. Because normally they just won't use a color that's not somewhere else. And it barely fits on his arm. So that is Shrapnel. Next up is Kickback, and I just noticed that he has the Diaclone wings. The United States Hasbro versions of Kickback have the rounded wings, but these are straight back. I'll show you in a second. And to get them transformed, we're going to close the cricket grasshopper legs up. Going to swing him around to his front. Bring the wings back. Rotate the head. Maybe I should have did the head last. And oh, that head is gorgeous. They did a great job on that red paint. It's nice and shiny, glossy. And close up his insect legs and bring them forward for pincer hands. This guy has to be my favorite Insecticon, by the way. Far as the toy. The character has to be Shrapnel with that voice, and he was the leader. But yeah, this guy looks very cool. And they chose to put the tiny Decepticon logo right there. I guess they didn't want to put it and get it into these grooves. Now for his silvery weapons, it slides over. They can't really hold them. Slides over their hand. They release toys. Okay, here's Bombshell's transformation. Fold down the legs. Bring the arms around. And like he's pretty much done. And take the horn thing and put this back. Ooh. What a little bit of paint can do for a toy. This guy looks gorgeous. Just like the cartoon. Oh, I really love that. Nice Decepticon logo right there. Let's get his gun. He has the only gun that pegs in. And here we have our trio of baddies. These guys were different than the main Decepticons. They didn't follow Megatron's orders. And if they did, it was only to accomplish their own goals. These guys were like the Dinobots of the Decepticons. They were rogues. And this set looks sweet. I'm tripping on getting these figures that I passed on. And now I see that they are very well done. I totally forgot articulation on these guys because it is very forgettable. It's going to be the minimum. Bombshell arm rotates at what is the shoulder on both sides. No elbow joint, no wrist joint. His legs can come forward this much and to the back this much. He can get this wee out of it. He can bend at the knee, but not the way you want because it's transformation. And that is it for Bombshell. Looks good though. Shrapnel is going to be the same, similar type story. And I just noticed he has dual Decepticon logos too. I guess this one is for his insect mode, but when you close these pincers, you really can't see it. And that's why I kind of missed it. But he has two Decepticon logos. But speaking of, I got to move these out of the way to do his articulation. To get his arm to go 360, you have to move the antenna, horns, or whatever they are. And they will 360, and then there is nothing left. Because of Shrapnel's transformation, he can 360 at the waist, but you can also use it as waist swivel, which gives him a step up on Bombshell. Then coming down to his legs, he can kick forward this far, which is the most out of any of these guys, and back this far. Again, the most out of any of these guys. Then he has a bit of toe articulation from transformation, but it is there. Now for Kickback. Kickback. Arms will do a 360 as well. Coming to his waist area, his legs can kick forward this far. Not a lot for a guy named Kickback. And to the back, not a lot for a guy named Kickback, but he can do that. And let's check out his toes. We can move his feet, but we're going to move the grasshopper leg at the same time. So not a lot. They all have very basic articulation across the board. But Kickback has one more trick up his sleeve. He can rotate his head, unlike the other guys. I guess this is to make the grasshopper mode more playable or whatever. These are supposed to be the grasshopper eyes. So I guess that's why he gets that. Back to Bombshell real quick in my Mandela effect. I had to dig some clips out just to see if this guy's chest was always gray. And believe it or not, I was shocked to find out that every single scene that I looked up for the Insecticons, that his chest was gray. They made him gray on a cartoon. Now again, in insect mode, you can see purple around the chest when it's turned over in a couple scenes, but his chest was just always gray, and that just blows me away. I'm just stumped. Did you guys know that his chest was always gray in a cartoon, or is it just me? Is it my own personal Mandela effect, or what? All right, let's roll straight into comparisons for our Bombshells. Huge Decepticon logo over here, looks good. But they actually went out of their way to paint these little things right here on the front of his chest that I barely paid attention to on the Generation 1 toy. And that looks cool. They painted the entire waist cartoon accurate. We have two different color plastics down here. They went with straight black. And turn them around. This little extra bit of love back here is a very nice touch. I really like that. These guys really look cool. Let's check out Kickback versus Kickback. Same things. And the same theme going on with these guys. The chest is a huge difference. The paint apps to the head are a huge difference. Of course, the wings on the back. Oh, and we don't have rub signs. We still have the square for the rub signs. Totally forgot about that. Forget every time. But no, the rub signs are gone. And this nice paint app back here on his back. It's not even on his chest. They took the time to paint this, and it's basically underneath or behind him all the time. So that is very cool. Of course, the purples are different. I dropped the gun. And here are the wings. In the United States, Hasbro put like this little rounded area that Takara didn't have, but this is like straight from the Takara mode, which is very nice. And then the weapons, chrome versus the matte finish. Very cartoon appropriate, but I love my chrome. Now for Shrapnel. I couldn't find anyone in the cartoon where his gun was purple. I tried looking. I just didn't sit up there and watch it all. But I pulled up a few Insecticon episodes, and I don't know why his gun is purple, but it's purple. So here we go. Other than the painted face as the difference, we get the chrome again, and the blacks are two completely blacks. The chest, same thing and the same things. Once again, chrome legs over here, matte finish over here. No stickers anywhere present on this guy. Swinging them around. Rub symbol. We still have the square over here and the legs on the back, and that gun just keeps falling on me. But those are the differences in our Insecticon. Let's think about the Bombshell release. He came with a bonus transformer. It is the cassette Rhamhorn, meant to go with your blaster. It should have came with blaster. He is an all brown plastic with some gray paint on the die cast parts, not counting the screws. This is the cassette side. You can tell because the reels are molded into this side to turn the tape, and on this side they are not. He has a very nice Autobot logo on both sides. It would still out more if it was outlined, but this is more cartoon accurate. We get a couple of cartoon lines over here for this side of the cassette, some molded in gears from the original toy. So let's see if he can fit in Blaster's chest. Slots right in and ejects just fine. Here is a comparison of the vintage original Generation 1 versus the reissue cartoon accurate. We get a more cartoon colored brown over here. Gone is the sticker for the actual cassette side. And flipping it over, we get a rub sign. I cover mine up because I like the Autobot logo better. It's just a sticker to not damage the toy. But these are the differences in cassette mode. They've even painted the rivet for the legs on the reissue. Alright, let's get them transformed. Very simple. We're going to bring down the tail, the head, the legs together at the same time, and we are done. This is our miniature rhino. Well, actually, I don't know how big he was actually compared to a human. He may have been actual rhino size, but here he is. We get some paint for the eye molded in detail on the horn, in the face, and the mouth. And very thin, of course. And this side, some molded detail for the legs and the toes down here, straight from the Generation 1 original. In the Rhino mode, his articulation is basically his transformation. The tail can go up and down. Same thing with the head. I guess is functional for ramming something with his horn. And his legs has the most articulation. It's articulated at multiple points, even though they're very stubby. At what is this? The shoulder and the elbow, and then he has toe articulation for each toe on this guy. Same thing follows with the back leg. So he's pretty well articulated, but he's very stubby and it's hard to pose because he's so thin. He's going to need his weapons. We get the brown plastic painted gold. Weapons were pretty cool and a welcome change at the time. We're happy they didn't just recycle Ravage's weapons during that time. And here we go. The gold weapons actually look good, even though I prefer the chrome. Speaking of chrome, every time I come around Yokohama tires, bling bling. Here is that gold chrome on the vintage original. I'm just going to always love the chrome. I mean, now comes the part where we put cartoon accuracy to the test, and holy crap, we have a purple gun on the cartoon version of Shrapnel, proving me wrong. Next up is Kickback, and he looks pretty much spot on. He even has the little tiny Decepticon logo in the middle of the chest on the cartoon version. And last but not least for our Insecticons is Bombshell. And once again, he's pretty much dead on accurate, except that there's no hollowing on the legs on here like it is for the toy. It's Rhamhorn up against his cartoon counterpart. And he's not going to pull it off because this guy is thicker and this thing is paper thin. For the last accessory and comparison, we get the Energon cubes. Each one of these guys came with a total of 6. And in the previous release of the Insecticons, I believe it was in a 3-pack for the reissues. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was the 3-pack. They came with the 3 Energon cubes from the episode specific, where Megatron took all their energy and gave them 3 tiny Energon cubes. They weren't even full-size Energon cubes compared to the Decepticons version. I'll wrap it up with a comparison of all my Generation 1 cartoon accurate reissues from the 84 movie line, or just the cartoon accurate line. And I can say I am very excited to add these Insecticons and Rhamhorn to my collection, especially at this price. But these are cool figures at any price. I kind of passed on them initially because I have so many Insecticons and reissues. I have the vintage. I have 2 sets of the vintage Insecticons for robot mode and Insecticon mode for my display. Then I have the reissue set that we got at Toys R Us like in the early 2000s, 2004, something like that. Then I have the Diaclone color reissues from Takar. So that was one of the reasons why I passed on these guys initially, but I am so stoked to actually have them. Guys, if you don't have these figures and you can find them on clearance from Walmart or at your local Ollie's or resale store, I suggest you pick them up. These guys are very cool, much better than I expected. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. And I want to thank you all for watching another episode of George Reviews. The reviews where Generation 1 toys still live.
Delicious, eh, Shrapnel? A little heavy on the electrons, Electron.